Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review. I'm going to be talking about Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives. And this is season 5, episode 11. They're almost done. Oh wow, they're definitely going to be done before the end of the year. Oh, so is that what they're talking about? RHOA comes in at the beginning of the year. They're going to not replace, but they'll be coming on after Salt Lake City. Now, that's interesting because they usually were back to back with Married to Medicine. But Married to Medicine is back to back with Potomac. Anyway, that's too far ahead to be trying to talk about. Let me thank you again for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Guess what? I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers, and every subscriber counts. And if you like it, more people will get it in their what do they call that stuff? Timeline. I'll be more visible to folks. And I've gotten 3 subscribers this week. I'm real happy about that. Yay! Thank you for tuning in and subscribing for the newbies. I appreciate it. This episode was a doozy, y'all. It may be a little lengthy for this one because I have a lot of notes. I mean, I don't think I've taken this many notes in a very long time, child. This is a lot of notes. I got 1, 2, and a 4th page. Usually I just have a cute little 1 page, 3/4 page, but child, a lot was said. And the last part was kind of, heavy, child. So I'm going to say trigger warning for the end of this review. Ooh-wee, child. Just know at the end of this review, again, it's going to be a little lengthy. I'm going to try and work it all in before the time run out. But yeah, it was a little, I had to pause it and say, wow, that was deep. There was a lot of deep stuff going on. Anyway, where we leave off, child? Okay, so we didn't really leave off. Well, we're not coming back where we left off because where we left off from episode 10 was when Meredith left the house, left the Audrey Hepburn theme party at Mary's because Angie couldn't keep her freaking mouth shut. Ooh, I don't like that woman. She is causing problems. She's like a gnat, a nit, whatever they call it, those things that come in through the door and you miss it because they're so little. Oh, she is. Again, I want the other Angie back. I don't know what her last name was, but her husband was the one who had one of those pages talking about Jen Shaw, similar to Reality Bontees, but not so harsh and grimy. Well, maybe it was, but then again, I don't really remember what it said. But the other Angie, she had blonde hair, real little, petite. Of course, they were friends of Jen Shaw's, but child, I guess he was making money on YouTube or something, because or whatever, Instagram, whatever he was doing, or I don't know, child. But anyway, I miss them. I want that Angie to come back and bring and put this Angie somewhere because she gets on my nerves, child. Especially this episode. I said, see, it would have been an issue. It would have been a misunderstanding had she come to me like that, like she did Meredith. But anyway, let's just get on to it, right? Okay, so pretty much Heather comes over to Whitney's and they're planning like another team building thing, but they want to do it Camp Beverly Hills style. Remember Shelley Long? What her name? Yeah, she was on Cheers with Ted Danson and then Kirstie Alley replaced her and she started doing movies. And we didn't really haven't seen her in a minute. I wonder what she's doing. Anyway, she did this movie called Camp Beverly Hills, I think in the 80s. And she was real prissy. And the girls, the Girl Scouts wanted to do something real outdoorsy. But Shay Long was like, oh, outdoorsy. Why you want to go outside? Like, see, I, I'm not pitching a tent and sleep on the ground somewhere. That's not what I'm doing. We're gonna be glamping or cabins, but nah, we not staying out in the woods somewhere. We're gonna be right there, not too far from civilization. Anyway, this ain't about me. So yeah, again, they're trying to plan some team building something, but pretty much just trying to have a good time, trying to make an event happen, pretty much building a campfire. And Heather feels the same. No, what was I saying? Oh, trying to build a campfire and just trying to have some empowerment with everybody. Just, trying to have something going. So Whitney just, wants things to be good and everything. And even though, inviting Bronwyn, and Heather feels the same, she doesn't want to get in the way of the friendships, but Heather doesn't trust her. And that's fine because, Bronwyn don't trust her either. Next, we got Meredith. She invited Mary to talk, and Meredith is waiting for Mary at the art gallery. Mary is at home. They're filming her trying to get ready, but she's worried about her son, Robert Jr. She's trying to locate him, reach him, and nothing's working. So she ends up being almost an hour late. Meredith mentions how late Mary was, and pretty much Mary shuts down. They start talking, but Mary's so frustrated with her son, she can't hold the conversation properly and just starts to eat away at Meredith. You can see it, and you can obviously see that Mary's not thinking clearly because Meredith is really trying to, have a real conversation about how Meredith felt slighted by Mary, yelling at her in her home and asking her to leave and everything. But Meredith doesn't really understand that, she was yelling at both her and Angie, actually. And what was said was not leave my house, but if you can't stop yelling, then you can leave. So, unfortunately, can't get my words right. Unfortunately, it didn't get that far between them because Mary got so frustrated that she left. She's just so stressed out about her son that she couldn't settle things with Meredith. And, it is what it was. Next, we got Lisa and Angie. They meet up with their kids at some type of aquarium or something. And Angie brings, what's the little boy name? Henry. And Angie's daughter's name was Electra. Okay, so Angie and Electra gift Henry a stuffed snake, and then since everybody but Lisa is into snakes, they go to the snake exhibit and see that thing wrapped around somebody's waist. As they were explaining, once they feel like they've captured their prey, they wrap themselves around them and suffocates them and eats them whole. And the snake is steadily wrapping itself around her. Child, listen. I'm over here squirming and ain't nothing over here resemble a snake, child. I'm like, ooh, I have to turn away and watch because me and them things don't. No, thank you. So then they go to the shark exhibit. They had a real nice time. So then they shoo the kids away and they have their conversation. Lisa, child, listen. If you listen and watch and listen, just I really hope you hear me when I say you expect blind loyalty when you are wrong at the same time. You expect people, like you told Angie, you expect Angie to have her back and to be on her side no matter what's going on, even though Lisa can be wrong at that time, at that moment. And Lisa, you need to understand, if you listen, watch, and listen. I'm just trying to say. And if she's not listening, watching, listening, and you know her, let her know about this review and have her tune in and listen to this part. Now, we about 12 minutes in, okay? You need to stand on your own, like you protest that you don't need anyone's help, like the Lord, you're omni. It's unfair for you to expect blind loyalty when half the time you're wrong, loud and wrong in your conversation. And yelling at people doesn't help. You need to learn how to calm your volume down and hold conversations so that it's not so offensive when you're trying to deliver the information that you want them to hear. Yeah. And even when you do feel hurt, it's not cool to start yelling at people. Angie said that, Lisa doesn't trust her, right? And I believe that because it's obvious when Lisa says that she feels hurt and she wants more support, even in conflict, and she's expecting blind loyalty. I'm sorry, but that's not going to work. However, they make up anyway. You know how they do. They got to stay on the show. Next, we see Mary hasn't talked to Robert Jr. in a couple of days, right? She's going through the house trying to find something to wear for this camp goof troop, F troop. For those, if you know, F troop was my show when I was little. OMG, I remember that show. Anyway, yeah, so Mary's trying to find something to wear at the same time. You can tell she's thinking about her kid and she's just trying to, go along with the show. This must be one of the most hurtful things this woman has had to deal with outside of her own mother not being a proper parent for her. I have a son too, and my son is older than her son. I couldn't imagine. Ooh, it just, oh man, it's just so hurtful to see, because all these, 5 seasons, he's been away for 1.5 seasons maybe, but even before then, and then they keep flashing pictures of him as a younger kid, and what we know now, even when before the show started, we heard in print that Robert Jr. was doing some type of rehab situation. And just knowing that going into episode 1, and here we are, episode 11. Okay. It's like we're anticipating, the so-called end result. And you just see her walking back and forth, trying to find something to wear. Don't know if this will work, or don't know if that'll work. But she's just trying to put on a brave face, and it's just so sad to watch. But anyway, so now it's camp day, and the F troop is coming along. To Beverly Hills, they got on their outfits, the green and khaki color. Again, they're trying to promote empowerment and self-worth and self-love and all of the good things. Yeah, okay. So we see Bronwyn, Meredith, and Lisa riding together, and then we'll see Angie and Mary ride together. And trash Meredith. Well, they're mostly Angie, but Mary is, just talking about how Meredith is, she's not listening, and she's just really, selfish and everything. And then Meredith tells them, meaning Bronwyn and Lisa, that, what happened with her and Mary, and how, Mary was just that, she was late, hella late, and she didn't even acknowledge that or apologize for it. But what else was funny was when they kept going back and forth and flashing back between vehicles, how Mary was telling Angie that she's an hour away, and had she, was actually in Salt Lake City and not Park, Utah, she wouldn't have been an hour late. But that's when you pick up the cell phone and say, I'm going to be an hour late. Just saying, Mary. I know you busy in your brain worried about your kid, but if you're committing to meetings with somebody, then you have to think about them as well. So if you're listening, watching, listen, Mary, we have to cover all bases. And since you weren't driving, you could have easily texted or say, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I'll be there such and such time. Just saying. What else is going on? What else? Then Meredith says and no, that's another one. Yeah. Meredith pretty much, actually, yeah, Mary says Meredith and Lisa are both self-absorbed. They both have that same character flaw. And Bronwyn says Whitney doesn't speak well of Heather. Now, this is when they're all together. And they're just, shooting the shit about each other. And here we go again with so-and-so said this behind your back and so-and-so said that behind your back. Like I said, Bronwyn says Whitney doesn't speak well of Heather. Brittany comes by herself, okay? And Maylee shows up by herself too. We ain't seen Maylee a month of Sunday. Where's she been? So Mary and Angie are 60 minutes late, and as Meredith makes note of that, she kind of makes fun of Mary. Oh, here we are, 60 minutes late. What a notion. Okay, Meredith. Okay, you asking for it. Now they're making fun of Brittany because she's back with Jared. Child. I'm not going there. And pretty much she says she doesn't care what he did while they were on a break. Oh, really? Because he was trying to get with Mary. Anyway, and she said she dated 10 guys on their break. Kind of seeing 3 on a rotating basis. And pretty much have 7 waiting. Girl. Now, I've had a few, dating a few people at a time. I never had 10. Golly, what's going on? Child, listen. Then something crazy started to join folks' brains. Heather, the main one. Heather speaks of how with Mormons, they have this thing where no, this is what Heather said. Don't blame me. This is what Heather said. Heather said, if the penis is in the vagina, now this is when they're, not married, dating or whatever, trying to see what's going on. If the penis, when the penis is inside the vagina and there is no movement or orgasm, pretty much it's okay and you will be forgiven by whomever you're repenting to, or, I'm like, what? Well, who sticks it in and don't move it? I don't know about these folks up there in Utah or wherever. What are they Latter-day Saints? What? First of all, it ain't supposed to be in there if it ain't supposed to be in there. That's what I do know. That's pretty universal amongst, religious groups. But specifically, if y'all not married, ain't nothing going in nothing. See. After all that mess, after all that, they have a potato sack race, and it was just a pure failure for one team. I think Heather's team won, and other team. I think Mary kind of messed up Whitney's team because Mary didn't hop; she kind of shuffled, so that kind of slowed everything up. So Whitney was a little perturbed about it, but yet and still, she appreciates the effort. So after the potato sack race, Angie confronted Brittany about the wine. And, just pretty much said, well, next time let me know if you need me to bring it around the corner or don't bring it at all. First of all, you should know not to bring it at all if you're going to a church event. Who brings alcohol to a church event? No matter what church or whose church or whatever the church is called, who brings alcohol to a church event? Girl, again, I'm sick of Angie. Anyway, so Meredith kind of chimes in, about, etiquette and things after Mary mentioned, well, it's just pretty much about etiquette and everything. And like I said, Meredith chimes in saying it's not two-faced because that's what Mary said. Well, it is two-faced if you're doing one thing and saying another. But then Mary starts to go in more so on etiquette and being polite. And then she goes into, but speaking of that, why'd you leave my house? And pretty much Meredith was like, I didn't feel welcomed. OMG. And then Angie chimes in, well, if you didn't feel, why did you leave? And then you took the parting gift with you and you almost took something else. I'm like, I don't know how Meredith does it. I sure would have cussed Angie out for the going north by the end and probably threw something at her. Just, yeah, I threw something at your face because it's either that or my fist. She works my last. Then Lisa has starts off with Bronwyn pretty much. Well, go ahead, Bronwyn. Tell Heather what Whitney said about you. Pretty much, Bronwyn just, mimics what Whitney said, talking behind her back, and Heather doesn't really find the comments offensive. Whitney and Heather kind of jump Bronwyn a little bit, letting her know that we good. It's not really a big deal about, how Heather feels and how Whitney, they're cousins, and it's gonna be what it was. Pretty much, they're just, making Bronwyn not feel welcome. They all talk about each other behind their back, and once confronted with it, they pick and choose who they really want to get mad, who they really want to be mad at. Bronwyn says Angie said Lisa pretty much fucked them over to make herself feel better. And Mary says it's true, and Lisa lies a lot. So they kept going back and forth between Mary and Lisa, and pretty much Mary got Lisa together, and Lisa just kind of laughed it off in a way and just kind of smiled and didn't look her way and just told Mary that she doesn't know what she's talking about. But Mary, again, in that moment, and even in confessional, Mary knew that she was projecting a little bit. We've never seen Mary do that before. And like earlier with Meredith, she's frustrated, she's stressed out because of her son, and she had a totally illegitimate argument with Lisa, and it didn't have to go that far. And yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But Mary did say Lisa lies a lot, and I do believe we all believe it. So pretty much Angie causes angst with Bronwyn and Meredith. And Angie, she needs to stay home. Go take care of Electra and go see about your husband, Sean. That's how I feel about it. Sorry, not sorry. Then we have Meredith. She hosts her Shabbat dinner, and Seth is Seth is lit. He is telling Jared how Jews drink and how Mormons don't. And you can just tell that's his fourth drink, maybe third, with nothing to eat. If he had a sandwich, that's his fourth drink. Oh, he was lit. Then they're at the table talking, and Lisa tells a story of John's ancestry, and pretty much she just looked it up for him. And now this part was, it was real uncomfortable. Then Todd mentions, oh yeah, I had the NSA do a background check on Bronwyn. And they first panned into Heather because, Heather's eating all this up. And Bronwyn looks so uncomfortable. You know how you like twitch a little bit and kind of rub the back of your neck or twirl your hair. Oh, she was so uncomfortable with that information Todd shared. I can't believe he said that. The NSA? Who he know? That's government. He didn't just do 4999 online. He had the government look her up. What he do? I need to look and see what he do. And then in conversation, Bronwyn is passing the peas or whatever food item, and pretty much they're talking about what happened at Camp F Troop. And she pretty much, well, yeah, sometimes I can be I can be a see you next Tuesday. And Todd said, don't say that. Again, they pan to Heather and she's eating it all up. Bronwyn is just trying to glaze over it and keep talking about the difficulties of the group. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, Bronwyn, we see more and more of the dynamic. It's just, this is not something, I don't think we're going to see Bronwyn next year. Because Todd ain't, like I said, last 3 episodes, Todd ain't having it. Todd don't like this. Todd ain't having it. And I bet you bottom dollar he won't be at that reunion. He gonna be out of the country on business. How much you want to bet? Now again, I'm Team Todd and Team Bronwyn because I like their spunk. I like that they're so green about it, within this reality scene. I think if I didn't think that, that they were staunch Trump supporters, I would actually say, I really do think that they voted for Trump. I mean, I don't think what he has done has anything to do with their political views. I like them. And until I'm proven otherwise, it is what it is. But yeah, he embarrassed her to the hill. Lisa says Mary is out of line and Meredith is perplexed about it. Meredith thinks that, something else may be going on with Mary and it's because of her behavior. It's not like it has before. And Brittany suggests that Mary has something going on. And it seems like they know, but no one's really saying. And, maybe they know like we know, or maybe a little bit more. But anyway, so next we got Mary. This is the end part. And it was so difficult to watch because it was, real touching. So next we got Mary at home and she comes in, talks to Robert Jr. And she's asking what's going on. And he just looks so out of it, just it's almost like he has a developmental delay, so he pretty much tells her that he takes Xanax to sleep and Adderall to balance out the day. And she's just trying to talk to him and understand, why are you doing all this? And when did he start doing? And pretty much, are you sitting down? Because child, I had to make sure I was sitting down for this. So he said he started doing drugs at about 16 years old. Now, Mary said currently she knew or knows that he takes edibles and smokes marijuana, but he mentioned every drug out there. He mentioned, there are so many, I just wrote down everything. Because I heard some drugs that come out of his mouth. I said, what? But he broke down and told her, he was just so aloof while saying all of this. It was just kind of scary to watch. Well, apparently he's on something then, because he says he's been, does this every day. And she pretty much says that she cannot, support it, and does he feel like he has a problem? Because it's obviously a problem for him to have to do all this and do this. And he pretty much mentioned that he felt like a stain in this world and he didn't he wanted to die. It broke her down, of course. That's her son, that's her baby. Like she said, you're the reason why I'm living. Meaning, I did not enjoy life before having you, and we all heard this from her. We knows how much she loves her son, and she said, "I love you more than Dad, but don't tell him it. Don't tell him." And that kind of made him laugh a little bit, but I believe it. I think we all believe it. It was really sad, but she was so frightened because he said he would do 10 pills a day and just all day, every day, just be high and just pretty much he said he didn't unalive himself because of his mother. And she was at the same time saying, I don't know what I would do if you weren't here anymore. She said, I think if I heard her right, she said, I would probably go along with you. I mean, that was really, really sad. He said he was barely happy. Wow. That was something, y'all. That was something. That's what I meant by earlier trigger warning. It's just so you never know what people how people are thinking. When they say check on your strong friends, you really have to check in with your loved ones no matter what. And leaving them alone is not ever a good thing. You have to check in with those whom you care about. You have to lay eyes on them. You have to see them. I mean, now we have all sorts of gadgets to where if you can't meet if you can't meet in person, every Android and every iOS device, now they're compatible. At first they weren't, but now both of those devices can talk during either a meet or a FaceTime or of sort, whatever it's called. They're capable of having, phone audio and visual phones, FaceTime stuff. So check on your loved ones, y'all. Check on your loved ones. And if you're mad, check on your loved ones anyway. I know we mad at each other. We can't stand each other. I just want to check on you. And not just because it's the holidays. Check on your loved ones, okay? So that was it. That was Salt Lake City Real Housewives, season 5, episode 11. It was a little sad at the end, but they had a lot of oomph in the beginning, child. But yeah, y'all, we'll see you next time and have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. All day.